Then these two sides are congruent, yes. Over this summer, I was a part of a workshop that read an article from Educational Leadership by Doug Reeves, and it just had us thinking about grading and whether it was fair for students. As a result of that, I talked through things with colleagues in the district, and I was prompted to reach out and be a part of what the district is doing with a pilot program.
Here at North, the algebra department sort of got into it together as a team. We decided that we had been hearing little rumors about standards reference grading coming down the line, and then I was asked to edit the proficiency scales, and so I was like, we need to get in the front of this.
X is 0. What's 100 divided by 2.5?
It clarifies for the students exactly what expectations they have. What do they need to know from everything that we're doing in class? What will they be tested on?
Our algebra team here at North has tried to do a couple of things. One thing, we made sure that all of our tests we write as a team, and they are from the standards. We do them before we teach the unit, and we say, this is what standards this unit covers, here's our test questions, and then we know what our goal is. And so we're measuring those standards from the beginning. We know what our standards are.
I've created a list of the objectives for the chapter that we're on and the standards that we're looking at, and they know exactly what 6 things they're going to be tested on. So that spreadsheet shows them where does that show up in their homework, where does that show up in their classwork, and then what questions on the test refer to those exact same things. So if they understand and remember their homework from day 1, they should be good and be able to communicate these 2 standards.
When you get your test back, your test will be highlighted wherever you went wrong.
The other thing that we've done to start implementing the standards reference grading into the Algebra 1 is that we do our test grading by highlighting. I saw a video on YouTube. It's a teacher from California, and I got the idea from her. And what we do is we mark the first place that they made a mistake, and that's it. I keep the points on a spreadsheet so that I know how many points I gave them for each question. They get their test back, and I tell them every time, you are not finished, your grade is not finished on this test until you've done revisions. We just have them earn half their points back for every correct revision. And so that sort of gets that whole, you're not done until you've met the standard, until we've reached that goal that we're trying to get.
And then you multiply these 2 numbers together.
I think the biggest benefit is going to be the separation of the grade for behavior and the grade for understanding the content. I separated my homework grades into the grade for % correct and whether or not they turned it in. So when they don't turn in a homework, I do not give them a 0. Shh, everybody's heads are gonna explode. I don't give them a 0, I leave it blank. But what I did to sort of compensate for that is that I have a category of my grades that are how many homeworks did you turn in. So that's still a piece, but it's separated on the categories, and I can look at what's what.
And I need the middle 50. So how many sections do I need for 50%?
This is like any other change. You want to be comfortable, but slightly uncomfortable, right? You need to be uncomfortable for change to be good, because the same old thing is going to get us the same old results. And so jump in, start learning, looking for articles, co-workers, colleagues that are interested in the same thing. Find and develop that basis of knowledge for what standards reference grading really is, and then just try something. With one of your units, start looking at standards reference grades.
All change is scary, but we have to do what we think is best. We have to say, oh man, do I really want to measure how much my students know or how well they can play the game?
Find someone to support you, try it, and then be willing to share. How did it go? And why did this flop and this worked? And continue to encourage others in the same process.
It's not going to be tomorrow. It's not going to be, hey, do everything that you've ever done, throw that out and do something different tomorrow. We're going to work this as a team. We're going to work this as a process. and it's going to be together that we build this, and it's going to be over time till we have a chance to get our mind around everything that's happening.
This is work. Like anything else we do, this is work, but it's well worth the work because the students start to understand exactly what they're looking for instead of not knowing exactly what an A looks like.